go through a situation like this, you understand, like, dang, that could have been me. Just as easy as that, or a little pain turned into 2 cancers and you're fighting for your life. Can't take this game for granted. You can't just believe, like, oh, I'm supposed to be here and this, and they're not doing it. Like, if you're in this life, if you're a pro right now, if you're desiring to be the pro and you get to live the life, learn to enjoy it along the way.
What are you thinking? Yeah. What are you thinking? Yeah. If you wanna know my thoughts, open your ears when I talk. Yeah. What are you thinking? Hey. What are you thinking? Hey. If you wanna know my thoughts, open your ears when I talk. Yeah.
Welcome back to another edition of the Arnold's Thoughts podcast. I am your host, Arnold Lewis. If this is your first time, I help athletes mentally prepare for a life of overseas basketball. If you want to learn the life of overseas basketball and you want to know what it takes, I prepare you mentally for that. Please do me a huge favor and hit the like and subscribe button because it really helps the channel grow. And we're going to get straight into it, man. If this is your first time, you've never seen me with this, but if you tuned in before, y'all would notice I have this little mustache going. Why is that? Because we are in the finals. Final four. We got 2 games to win the whole thing, to win everything for this cup. And I promised my teammates, if we got to the finals, I was gonna cut my beard and get the mustache. For those who are listening, gotta go to YouTube and you gotta see the little mustache that I got going. I kinda like it. It makes me look a little dangerous. You know what I mean? I look a little dangerous, like I'm ready to go out there and take care of business. You know, it's the whole thing. I done got my hair cut, they got clean, fresh, look good, play good, feel good, get paid good. You know what I mean? You get paid good. So we're gonna have a good show today. I got a lot to talk about, to get into it. This is probably gonna be the last episode of the year.
Are you interested in playing overseas basketball one day? I wish someone would have told me 1 year after college I would receive my first pro gig. I wish someone would have told me that having an agent does not guarantee that you will get hired. I wish someone would have told me being cut from a team, because after 10 years in this game, everyone gets cut from a team. Now, after traveling from over 17 different countries and winning up to 7 championships in my pro career, I've put together the 6 most important traits any player needs before starting their career. So go ahead and grab that ebook and get all the information you need today to start your career. Now you can't say no one didn't let you know. So go ahead, grab that ebook and get started so you can become the pro one day. Let's go.
Due to the fact that I got the finals, I might be traveling. This is going to be pre-recorded, like all of my videos are pre-recorded. Some of them are live and then uploaded, but this one's definitely pre-recorded. So by the time this comes out, this probably be next week, which is the 29th, or whenever this is being aired. It should be next week, is 29th. But that's when it'll be coming out, and then we will be at the new year within a few days. So first I want to say Happy New Year and Happy Holidays to everybody that has been, going through the holidays. Saying to all the hoopers, go home, enjoy yourself, rest up, get ready for the second half of the season. It is the most important time of the season. You know that. You have to get right. This is your time to go and regroup with your family. Get that good homes. If you got kids, go hang out with your kids one last time, and now it's time to get back to work. Like, it's really time to start grinding and getting back to work, because you have to finish out the season on the top tip. This is where the real season starts. It's kind of like after the All-Star break. Something like that. Pretty much getting after the All-Star break, and now it's time for you to lock in and start really focusing on the second half of the season for those that are in the 8 to 9 month range of the season. But as I said, we got a lot to go over today. I just want to wish everybody happy holidays, happy New Year. This is going to be 2024, and I will be turning 34 on New Year's, and that is huge for me. I will be turning 34 and on New Year's. My birthday is New Year's, so I think it's about a week out from now, 8 days, whatever. But by the time this come out, within a couple of days, it would be my birthday. And I'm just excited for that. Why? Everybody gets excited because it's a new year. You got your New Year's resolutions. You have all these new things that you're dedicating to. And I always believe that, your new year is not, people want to start new things, but your habits make who you are. So if you want to change anything, just what one habit am I going to change for this year to better myself for this year, And 34 is very significant for me. It's like I go full circle. I went full circle from a time in my life. It was a very odd time in my life when I was in my 20s going up to my 30s. I think if anybody who've been in their late 20s going up into their 30s, they always have that fear of 30. I was talking to one of my closest teammates on the team, and I said, I don't understand why. I do not understand why I had this weirdest, strangest feeling when I was in my late 20s going into my 30s. And I used to think, I'm not going to make it to the age of 30. I'm not going to be alive for the age of 30. I don't know what it was. It was this weird fear that I was projecting on myself that, I'm not going to make it to see the age of 30. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I don't know why I conjured up those thoughts. I've learned since then. It kind of started when I was around 28 because now I'm starting being aware of how close to 30 that I really am. And it made me just come to a more of a realization like, oh no, that what I've been dreading so long is actually coming close and coming near. And here I am dreading this day, this age, as if it is a significance of something. Your habits make up who you are. Those are the significance of who you are. Your thoughts. And in that time, I had a lot of ill thoughts towards myself. For what reason, I do not know. I'm just expressing what I went through just in case anybody have those same feelings and thoughts somewhere down the line in their life. For some reason, I just thought it was over with for me at the age of 30. I do not know why. I can't explain it, but thank God that wasn't my ending decision. Thank God those weren't God's thoughts. Those were just my bad poverty, disbelief thinking, poverty thinking, non-growth thinking. Those were the habits. Those were the habits of thoughts that I had during that time. So it's not even the thought habits that you have, because the thought habits are going to dictate what you do. If your every thought is to get better, to learn, to grow, and these are the thoughts that you're training yourself, and these are the habits of thoughts that you think of, then that will ultimately be who you transition into being. And that will ultimately challenge or, manifest the person that you are. They say you don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. And those are just some things that I am glad I was able to change it. But if I didn't, I wouldn't even have this whole station right now, this whole podcast to just come and talk with you guys. So it just shows the thought process, because now I'm turning 34 and I'm more ecstatic, and I can't wait to turn 34. It's like a week, so technically I'm pretty much 34 already. But it's just the thought of, more than this is my year, this is my time. I realized we have a team psychiatrist on the team, psychologist, I believe, and he talks with the players, and me and him always have great conversations because we always talk about it. He never really has too much to offer me, because all the things, I would say he doesn't have anything to offer me, but the things that he referenced to me is a lot of things that I'm currently doing, so we relate a lot on just the aspects of the mind, the aspects of the feeling, the emotion, the thoughts, the sensation that happens when you feel a shift and a change is happening in your life. And I say, you know what? Because just a little backdrop or just a little referral is I turned 34 has been my number since my 11th grade in high school. Yeah, here and there I might have a number switch, but 34 has been my number for the last 17 years of my life. That has been my number. I've always, right now on this team, no matter where I go, always number 34. So that's the significance of the number. Why? It's because my favorite player growing up was Paul Pierce. He had number 34. And that's just who I modeled myself after. And that's why I love the number 34. And now it's 34 turning 34. 34 is turning 34, and I feel the shift in the sensation and the energy in my life just all turning for a massive shift. And I was explaining to the psychologist, I was just saying, like, some people don't get the pleasure of understanding the shift in their life. Understanding when things are happening around you and things are happening, you can see and feel the shift happening, but for good. I understand the responsibility that I have to fully lean into this shift and maximize on just the sheer energy that is being propelled from this time of my life. This time of my life where I'm turning 34, I have the exact opposite feeling. I feel like now I'm walking into myself. I'm walking into the man that I'm supposed to be. And I was explaining to him, I had a thought the other day, it was around 2 days ago. I was writing down in my journal. My everyday, I always write my goals. I write what just my projections of life. It's the goal. It's probably like a paragraph long. I write those every single day. And before I start writing, I always like to put my hands on the book and just feel the words that I've written before of the things that I want and the people that I'm doing it for. So the people that I'm doing it for, I haven't written down: my mom, my aunt, my father, my uncle, some of my best friends, my daughter. I got a list of people that I write down on this list that before I start, I always put on something motivational, maybe a book, maybe it's a song that I love to listen to, Gopella, I think that's how you pronounce the name, Closer to My Dreams, and I begin to write. I like to always take something good information coming in before I write, to just put me in that mode. I might listen to some ET, I might listen to some Wall Street Travel because it's very motivational. And as I don't even remember, I think I was listening to some Jim Rohn. Yeah, I think I was listening to some Jim Rohn. And I was listening to Jim Rohn, and right before I started, like always, I put my hands on the book and I just started like feeling the names and just to get that sensation. And I just had a clear vision in my head of standing in front of my aunt. I was standing in front of my aunt. She's the pastor of my church. And I was standing in front of her. And she was standing in front of me. And I had all my family behind me, like just following, like just right behind me, like in support. And I'm looking up at her, and she said, "Thank you." It was her in front of everybody, like giving me a blessing of just saying, "Thank you for becoming the man that you were supposed to be. Thank you for taking on the responsibility of doing the things that you were supposed to become the man that you were supposed to be, because you changed everybody's life." My actions of what I decided to do, it created a ripple effect and changed everybody's life, because I took responsibility of what I was supposed to do. And then I had another image of my father pop into my head, and it's always the same image of him standing in front, and he has the same work outfit that he always has on. He has a hat, a tan outfit, top and bottom tan matching suit, work suit with a hat, and he's reaching forward. He's always reaching forward, but he always had a smile on his face. And it was like, it was a sensation, like he was proud of me. Like, he was also glad that I decided. It was like she said it, and just seeing him is a confirmation of it. So that's why 34 going into this year is so significant for me in particular. It's very significant for me because that whole moment brought me to tears. It brought me to tears, and to realizing it's just like that feeling was just so real to me. With the significance that I'm turning 34, it was like I needed to. Now is the time. Now is the time to really lean in on everything that I'm supposed to be doing. And that kind of leads me into the first segment of the show, which is Fact Over Feelings. And the segment for today is, will you take responsibility to become the person you're supposed to be? And I believe it's just time for us to take responsibility for our destiny. Why? Because one man's destiny, one person's destiny has an effect on so many other people's lives. It's kind of like the saying of the butterfly effect. And in the butterfly effect, one flap of the wings can cause a tsunami on the other side of the world. That's the saying, and y'all can look into it, but that's like the butterfly effect. And it just, all these are just coming to me at one moment, and just understanding, that's what I wanted to talk about in this segment is, are you going to, it's time to take responsibility for your destiny. Because you have people watching you. You have people watching you. You have family members. You got friends. You have, spouse, girlfriend, whoever, cousin, looking up to you and they're looking for a savior. And we believe that we have to be their savior by, giving them money, buying them something. But that's not entirely the situation. The situation actually is, they are looking for someone to do something different that wasn't done before, that are in close proximity of them. I understand in my situation, no one in my family, for one, has never even played a professional sport. My father created the first professional soccer team in Bahamas. So he was the first athlete that he created. So it wasn't like he was getting paid. It wasn't like he was a pro, as in like they took care of him. They created it and they started that. I get paid to be a professional athlete. I understand that. But I understand as well that it's time for me to change all the things that don't allow me to maximize completely this lifestyle. I understand that when I change who I am, when I not even change, but continue to grow in who I am, the people that are closer to me see this is the first person in our family to actually go out and be successful in life with their career and get like some kind of status from it. Hey, that's my cousin. He a professional basketball player. He winning championships overseas. That's something they can live through. That's something they close, they can touch, they know. We grew up together. I reference my cousins a lot because I have so many cousins and so many family members that are around my age and younger, and I have the younger generation. There's like 40, 50 of them. And no one is doing anything but getting up, going to work, complaining, and not really living a purposeful life. And that's what I believe that I'm here for, is to live my ultimate purpose. And always live my ultimate purpose and who I am, what I'm here to do, what I'm put on this earth to do for my family, for myself. And I understand that people around me are looking at me as not even intentions. Like I understand that now. And you must understand that now, that you think you're just out here living your life for you and you don't even realize that you are the person that is meant to lead the way. You're the person to show the people closest to you. Like I said, I had the vision of my family behind me, my aunt saying, thank you for taking the responsibility. Thank you for taking the responsibility of becoming who you're supposed to be. I saw that brightest day. It was the most realest image in my head. It's almost like I'm standing here right now and looking right back at it. I understand that. Like I said, it brought me to tears. Your destiny, who you're supposed to be, affects so many more people. We had an incident. I don't want to get too far into it because I have a show. We have more. I'm talking about that a little bit more in the show. But I just had to coach. We had a lot going on with the team currently right now. And the coach looked at me and he was like, no matter what happens, I enjoy our time together. And I enjoy the experience of having you on a team and just being able to, work and be in close proximity with each other. Why? Because the way I carry myself in the times where things may seem glim or dark or not going our way. And it never dawned on me that he paid that much attention to me to see how I react. Because right now the team is in a little turmoil and it's a lot of disruption going on between us, and not between us, but on the team from outside surrounding. But personally, I understand that it doesn't matter the circumstances that's going on around me. It only matters how I internalize it and how I handle it from the inside. And I didn't even realize that energy connects with another person and it gives them hope, or it gives them some type of inspiration to say, you know what, things will be all right, because I can feel your energy that allows me to also feel soothed. Like, your energy is soothing to the point that I don't have to worry because you're not worried. And that's why I say that it's time for us to take the responsibility, because so many people are looking at us, and the people who hear this, the athlete, the mom, the dad, whoever hears this, whoever hears these words, hears this, say it's gonna feel that. They're gonna feel that inside. They're gonna touch you, and you're gonna know, like, yeah, man, it's time. Like, I know, even though I don't want to act, because I was in denial a lot of the impact I have on other people's lives. I used to just think, oh, I'm just being me. I'm just being me. I'm just cool, laid back, chill person, and I vibe with a lot of people. I'm just trying to catch a vibe. I'm just trying to catch a vibe, and I ain't even trying to really be on too much. And oh no, but you're this, and that. And deep down, you know that you've been called. You've been chosen. You're the one that's supposed to change your entire family's life. You're the one supposed to walk this path that shows the other ones are behind you that it's possible. To show the people around you that no matter what happens, everything is going to be alright, and we're gonna get through this no matter what. You are gonna reach the level of expectation that you have for yourself, the level of expectation that has been called upon you. And it's time for us to walk into that. It's time for us to start believing that. It's time for us to say, you know what? I know that I have that responsibility. There is no coincidence that the people who interact with me, they always get something from me. Oh, it's just because I'm cool and chill. Yeah. But it's really because you were called and you were chosen to lead. And you were called and chosen to impact many people's lives and give people hope and inspiration and motivation, just through you developing yourself, walking in your destiny, taking your responsibility to become more than what you are today, to walk the path, to grow, to become all that you can, to read the books, to do the studying, to do the extra work, to put down the distraction, drop some of the vices. Whatever it is, it's up to you to start walking in your path. Because it's a new year, about to be 2024. How much longer are you gonna put it off? When are you gonna say, you know what, no more? When is enough? When are you gonna realize that wasting time and not growing and walking into everything that you're supposed to do is harming the people beside you? Maybe it's your daughter, maybe it's your son, maybe it's your cousin, maybe it's your best friend. You think, I'm not doing nothing, I'm just trying to get by on myself. Just do my own thing and just make sure I don't harm nobody in the getting across crosshairs of it. No. It's time to start taking responsibility for everything that we do. It's time to start being that leader. Start reading the leader books. Start seeing, how do I develop myself? How do I eat better? How do I start getting more rest? How do I start growing? What is the skill that I can have? Or what is it that I have to offer that is giving so much people hope? What is it that I need to do to change, to advance in life, so the people around me, I can just have myself at a heart? How do I raise my level of energy so when I'm just walking next to someone, I give them hope? Just working next to someone, I give them a sense of peace. A sense of peace that only comes from you. The only time people are gonna feel a sense of peace from just being around a person is when that person is walking in everything that God called them to do. When they found out what they're here to do, when they understand their mission, when they understand where they're supposed to be going in life, and they say, you know what, I'm gonna walk this path because I know this was laid out for me. No more BSing around, no more downplaying what I'm here for. It's time to take responsibility for your destiny and become everything that you're meant to be. Moving on, man. Moving on to another section of the show. I like to always transition. We just got done with that fact over feelings because that is just the topic of that segment. You know, take responsibility for your destiny. Take responsibility. Moving on, man. Keys to the game. In this segment of Keys to the Game, we're going to be talking about not taking the game for granted. Once again, we're going into 2024, the new year, and I just want to make sure all the basketball players who are currently pros and the guys who are seeking to be a pro one day. That is your job, not your job, but that is your dream. That's your aspiration. That's what you desire to be. You desire to be a pro one day. You know, you want to play overseas. You might have dreams of any NBA, but I'm understanding now it's becoming more realistic for most individuals and most players that they understand that the route to becoming a pro is through overseas. And there's so many guys who's transitioning. Kemba just transitioned. Well, I think I just seen Boogie Cousins just signed with where Dwight is at. You know, and it's just showing that there's so much transition into the overseas basketball between the 3-on-3, between just the world of basketball is growing. It is growing, and for the guys who are just looking to take their talent, take their talents overseas, or desiring one day to be a pro, just understand that you can't take it for granted. Don't take the workouts for granted. Don't take the bad days on the court where you can't make a shot. Don't take the bad games. Don't take any of it for granted. Why? I say that. Coming in, like I said, coming into a new year, and we gotta have a new perspective, because this can all be taken away in a moment. Crazy story. I got one of my best friends. He was playing in a game recently, maybe 1-2 days ago, and he just went up for a layup or a dunk or something, and he had 3 fractured ribs. Just out of nowhere. When you got an x-ray, they didn't even see it. They said it was nothing. Doctor came back, re-looked at it. You got 3 cracked ribs. 3 cracked ribs. Broken ribs for going up for a layup. So that kind of makes you want to think, like, how long did he have this injury? Because as we were speaking about it, it was like, you probably had this injury for quite some time. And you've just been playing through it without without slowing down. It's just like, you probably gotten adjusted to the pain to the point that where it doesn't even matter that you got hurt or you have 3 broken ribs. You've just been playing through the pain and just been continuously dominating, because the last game, I think it was the MVP of the game, had like 28 points or something crazy. You know, he was player of the game, and he was dominating, playing great. Say he's feeling like he's back in his rhythm, feeling like everything is going. You know, when you get in your rhythm as a player and everything's flowing good, the ball's dropping, you just have to touch, like we say, the tee. You get that tee. You're shooting that ball, like right now I feel the tee. Anytime you start getting close to the finals and it's time to start going, that tee started getting activated. Tee, don't forget that. That tee is the touch. That's when you shoot and it don't touch nothing. If you're new here, let me introduce you to tee. Tee. You know that when you shoot and it just comes off, just perfect rotation, perfect touch. The ball feels soft when it release your hands. You got clean follow through. Your offhand good. It's straight directly. You got that nice block in the shot, and it's just cash. When you have that, we always, my friend have a saying: the tee is always on. The tee is always on. No matter what, the tee it's always on. So he was feeling good. He was in his moment. He was in his bag. He was feeling great. And then something like this just happens out of nowhere. It's crazy how something just random just can happen, and it could really deter your whole, like, they say he's projected to come back pretty soon, but just something like that could have had his career just done like that. It just puts in perspective that how fast this can all be over with. So just like that, it could have been worse than what it is. There's another guy, which brings this point full circle right now. It's crazy. There's another guy out here in Chile that he was playing on the team that I was playing on, and right before I joined the team with him, he came to like the first 2 or 3 practices, and then he didn't come anymore because he had got diagnosed with cancer. So everybody, you know, did it support and sent some bread. Everybody sent some money just to try to help, you know, just do the best we can to help him. And, you know, a lot of people donated, and he was able to get the surgery, cut the cancer out, do the chemo, and he bounced back. But he was a basketball player for, you know, he was in his 30s, the same age, around the same age as me, about 33, 34, around the same age. Just had a daughter, was being born in the time all this was happening. So, his entire career just got in 1 second. He thought he had a strained muscle, and he thought he had something completely different. Turns out it was cancer. And now it affected his whole body. Done, not playing basketball anymore. And he recently posted something that now he has cancer in his lungs. You know, he's asking for help. Make sure I send him some more, because, you know, we got to help those out there. Just it makes it so real for us being basketball players. If you see one of your own go through a situation like this, you understand, like, dang, that could have been me. Just as easy as that, or a little pain turned into 2 cancers, and you're fighting for your life. You can't take this game for granted. You can't just believe, like, oh, I'm supposed to be here and this, and they're not doing. Like, if you're in this life, if you're a pro right now, if you're desiring to be the pro, and you get to live the life, learn to enjoy it along the way. Learn to enjoy all the little steps along the way. Because there's so many things that can happen just in your life in general that it can all be over with. It can all be over with. You'd be stuck standing there wishing and hoping and realizing, like, all the times that, man, I remember, because I know it kills him to sit there and watch and stuff, because that's who you are. There's nothing worse than being a pro or being a basketball player and have to sit and watch. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's like being hurt. There's nothing you can do about it. So, as the new year come around, make sure you guys understand that the key to the game is to never take any day of this life for granted. Never take the fact that you get to play the game that you love for granted. Do not take it for granted. Take that with you. Take every step. Take it all with you, and enjoy the process of this game. Enjoy if you're a pro. Enjoy that. Enjoy if you are just starting out. If you're in high school and you're just trying to make the team. If you're trying to go to college and you made it to JUCO or NAIA, whatever it is, don't take it for granted. Moving on, man. to the meat of the show. I wouldn't say the meat, but it's just a few topics that I wanted to go over today as we are approaching the new year. And I spoke about it earlier, and I just want to really recap on that, which is, disruption really follows intention. What do I mean by that? One, I got that from Myron Golden. He always says that I'm a big advocate of following Myron Golden. He's just such a great business coach, great businessman, God of man. He's always teaching with just such clarity, and that's just something to which I aspire to be like. You know what I mean? Like I want to be someone who can, excuse me, I'm going to drink the coffee and backing me up. What's going on with the coffee? Anyways, I want to be someone who is very masterful with my words, because he always speaks of, communication being one of the highest form of value. And I really am on this quest of mastering my words and my vocabulary. If there is such a thing towards the mastery of, I would say, being in better comprehension with the words that I'm using. Why? As I spoke earlier, it's the responsibility to be able to share the message in a way that people can understand it with clarity. I understand that maybe I can say some words that I got from a book, but it doesn't resonate with the person next to me because I'm speaking because I got this from a book and they've never read a book in their life. How many people we know are like that, who've never read a book in their life? So you might mention something and they don't have any idea what you're talking about. So I really understand, for me, yes, I love to come on here and give as much value as I can from the perspective of my life, and give the perspective of an overseas basketball player living in another country, being a content creator, running a business, growing a business, because all this is just a part of my business life and growing, and just trying to show a path for those who are also trying to go down this path with some kind of guidance. Giving back with what I did not have, which is a perspective of someone living this life. Now we live in the age of, I heard a podcast the other day, so we live in the age of an expert. Do I call myself an expert? Well, in the life of living in overseas basketball, I'm an expert at that. I'm definitely an expert at living the overseas basketball life. I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been to over 18 different countries. I believe I can call myself an expert when it comes to living this life. And I've learned a lot that I can help navigate the next generation towards that. Towards how to be successful, but not only successful, but to get the most out of this life. Through my own trial and error. Isn't that how it always is? The people who are always trying to teach you something is just because they went through their own trial and error, and they decided to give the information back on what they went through, and how if you take these steps that they tell you, it's just a shortcut for you to get to where you want life. And I believe that my aspect and my value that I bring is just the changing of your mindset, and just understanding that your mind is going to take you further than your jump shot. Your mind, your mentality is going to take you further than any crossover you can do, than all the bounce that you have. Because there's a way to navigate in this life, and there's a way to take advantage of the time that is given to us to maximize ourselves, whether that be a personal development. That's what I kind of deem this show is necessarily about, is about the personal development of an overseas basketball player. And that just comes with developing yourself. To be the best basketball player you can possibly be for yourself, you have to go through personal development. That's trial and error. That's willingly or unwillingly. If you unwillingly don't try to develop yourself for this life, you're not going to have a very long career. But if you willingly put yourself through the strenuous and the extra work that is necessary to be successful, and you expand upon yourself to not only improve your game, but to improve your mindset. Because I promise you, this game is more mental than it is physical. being able to think the game, being able to navigate between different environments and different teams and situations, because a lot of teams are not going to adapt to you. The communication, the networking, the understanding that how you become as a person is what people are going to judge you by, and not who you are on the court. Even becoming a better player is becoming a better person first, because who you are on the inside will reflect more on what you do on the outside, creating those habits, creating the habit of developing yourself into a better person. That's why I created the book, 6 Must-Have Traits to Become an Overseas Basketball Player, because I just give you some of the development that you need, or the development traits that I believe every person who wants to be a professional basketball player overseas should have. From my 10 years of experience, and I'm still rocking and going at it, I've been able to see what exactly that, just to be a type of person that is needed to play this game. And no one talks about the type of person and the things that you need eternally to play this game. Work on your jump shot, work on this, do that. Nobody tells you what type of person you should be and what you should be working on. Like a person that's works in a store and they check bags, or they're a cashier. Well, you have to have people skills if you want to go up, if you want to, increase in your job or whatever it is that you're doing. If you want to get to another level, there's certain criteria and certain things that you must have. If you're a cashier or working at a store, if you want to get a raise or whatever it is, you have to have a certain type of energy. You must be able to communicate with people. You must be able to understand that, these people coming through, they're not there to make your job worse, but that's a character trait. That's a trait that you have, that, I'm going to bring good energy into the people next to me, or the people that's coming through my line that I'm taking care of. That's a trait. Learning to be in connection with the people that I'm serving is going to help me more in my job or in my career than me just going through the motions. So developing yourself as a person and developing yourself to be a better person is going to help your game. And that is a fact. That is a fact. So I go back to the disruption always leads the intention. That was a little rant though. And I say that because right now, as we're preparing for the finals, we're preparing for the Final Four. It's in, well, by the time you guys watch this, it'll be already over with. And we would have won. I'm making it known we have won. I'm speaking it into, it's already in existence. It's already there. And the fact that we're so close and we have such the best opportunity to win this, it just shows like all the outside things that are just trying to like knock us off of our balance, just trying to disrupt everything. As I spoke earlier in the fact of a feeling segment of why my coach said that to me, of how he just seen my calmness in all the midst of the craziness, it's because right now we have 3 players out. One of our starters got hurt with some weird play in practice, and then he said that he was just injured. He injured and he didn't come to practice. But he said he's feeling a lot better, thank God. And he should be good to go. Like he's healthy enough. It's just, he got a bruise. Because after the training, we all went to the weight room and lift weights together. So I knew he had to be good. It was just like a weird fall, and you just hurt him for the next day. Take a couple of ibuprofen. We got 2 days ice stem. Get the air compression boost. I got an air compression boost. If you want a pair for a discount, let me know. DM me on my Instagram. DM me for air compression boots. Every player must have those for your recovery. Exactly. Just one day he's just sitting here training. Boom, he falls. Weird. And now you ain't got the right recuperation things to get back, because we got a finals in 2 days. I'm sorry. This is why it's so important to have these things in close proximity or closer to you, so you can use immediately. You can't wait. And like I say that to a lot of guys who will play the game, like you can't wait to have the recovery things for you. You have to invest in your body. You have to invest in these things to take care of you, because you never know what's going to happen. Look at my friend, just out of nowhere, like the booze ain't going to help him with his ribs, but you just get hurt. You still need a step machine, an ice machine. I mean, and you still need a stem machine for the pain and just to help with the recovery faster. Instead of having to wait and go into a clinic every single day for that, you have this to help speed along your recovery. Have to take care of yourself, but we had 3 players out. He was one. Just like that. Boom. Another player. I don't know what happened to him. He just didn't show up. I think he had something to do with his son. And his son was down. He had to probably take him back home. He had to fly him back home or drive him back home. So he had to miss today. Things happen. And then my closest friend, Julius Hope, the one on the team, we had to interview. Y'all go check out our interview. Probably 2 conversations in Chile. I think about like 2-3 episodes back. And he was telling me just like, hey, he was so excited. He was visualizing being in this moment and how everything was like coming up to be like the way that he had seen it in his mind. He was just so anxious, not anxious, but excited for the opportunity to be back and playing and able to have this opportunity to play for a championship. And being so that the one teammate that went down, he would be the next player to fit that position. Why? Because the team that we're playing, they're kind of big. He's a big defender from the guard position, and we need big guards. The guy that got hurt, he's a big guard, so we need him for his defense. And he's just a defense, waiting the corner. He's got a lot of years on him, and he's understand the game. He'll understand my job is to play defense and wait in the corner. Be rough and tough on defense, wait in the corner. If I pick up fouls, don't matter. Just you play hard, play defense. But he's not going to be able to play the first game. Because of the last game, because of the situation that we talked about with the referee I brought up several times, that he had got suspended. It was a big fight, big brawl after the game. The managers was fighting, the fans was fighting, the other teams was getting into it with the play. It was just a whole bunch of brawl out of all that. He didn't even play in the game. He never even played in the game. He never stepped a foot on the court. But yeah, he got suspended. Because of all the stuff that happened in the years before, how they all go check out that episode, Conversation in Chile. You can understand everything that he went through before this, and it'll make sense on why it's like they're picking on him. If he's in the mix, it's his fault. No matter what, nobody else, the refs, the other team, the other players, the fans, nobody else is going to get in trouble by him. Because he has the name that's just tied to negativity in here. Even though he's a completely different person, changed his life, and just trying to do better for himself and just do better for his family and just better for his life. They don't care. It's like that's following him, and they just trying to go at disruption. So that's 3 players out in the mix, and we just don't like. It's so much going on, and I just kind of had the coach in a wow. He even told me, man, I'm very anxious, and it's like it is really bothering me. But I see how calm and cool you are, or just calm in all of this situation. I'm glad that I'm able to go through this process with you, because I see how you react, and you just see your mentality towards all of this. And for me, I just understand, no matter what, I know what I'm here for. I know what we're here for. All these others, all the other stuff that's happening around us, they don't matter. They don't matter, and they're not going to stop what we're here to do. Like I said, it's a change in the universe is making a shift. There is no time to doubt. Doubting thoughts don't exist here anymore. Once you understand what you're here for, doesn't matter what really tries to come in your way. Doesn't really matter what tries to stop you from, progressing and achieving. And I told him, I said, okay, you're suspended for the first game, but all we got to do is win that game, and we're in the championship, and you're not suspended. And that's when we're going to need you most. So even though he was like, man, all this stuff happened, there's still a chance. As long as there's a chance, there's still a chance. No matter all the things that happen around, there's still a chance. And that's what I want to really emphasize going into the end of this year, that, there's still a chance for you to become and do and develop yourself into the person and the player that you want to be. You know, it's still, as long as you still have breath in your body, you still have a chance to change for the life that you want and go after the things that you want. Do not get blinded by the circumstances that's going on around you that may seem like things are going my way and I can't believe I'm in this situation. I can't believe the pity party. Save the pity party to someone else. Don't do it to yourself. Just understand that your time is going to come as long as you keep going. And I told him, I said, look, bro, I remember this whole year, I wrote down one of my goals is to win a championship. And here I am a week before the year is over with that chance. Even though I never thought I would be in this position, even though I didn't realize that, it was going to be possible to even play for one, I have a chance. And even though all the chaos, my house, going to court, so many other situations that's happening around me that can deter me, car breaking down, family issues, so many outside sources that could stop that belief that it's still possible. And here we are, I'm like, look, everything is still possible. And we just have to continuously believe in that. And you know what? No matter what happened, it's still possible. And all this rupture is because something great and major is on the brakes. When things get tough and it gets down and you think things are just falling apart, that is when things are going to happen for you. And you just have to lean into it. Accept it, embrace it, and be grateful for it. It's like you're telling yourself, you're telling your universe that, you know what, I accept all that you have offered to me. Because in the Bible, what it says, count it all joy. No matter what, count it all joy. All of the things that happen, the craziness, all that's trying to stop us from getting there and winning the championship, count it all joy. I'm grateful for it all. I'm ready for it all. Why be upset or why let it frustrate you? That's the part of life. That's just the part of life. That's the beauty of life. The ups and the downs. Hey, look at all this craziness we got to go through it just to try to win the championship. Dealing with the referees, the whole situation with the referees. Because after that, I don't believe I spoke on that this subject, but after that whole situation where I exposed the referees for playing the tape, I had to take it down. And I was told that I would get suspended if I didn't take it down. Imagine that we live in a world where you expose someone for doing wrong and they want to penalize you for exposing them. You're going to get penalized for telling the truth. You're going to get penalized for exposing our lies. That is the world we live in. And then that same rep is going to be at our games to referee again. So it can go any way. It could go completely wrong. They could have a vendetta out for me just for the sole fact that I exposed them. And you know what's crazy? It wasn't even my intention to expose them. I just wanted to show the craziness that was going on. It wasn't like, oh, I was picking on this guy, look at this guy. Because the guy, like I said before, who did it, I'm actually cool with the guy. I actually respected him the most. He was the most respectful rep in the league since I've been here, that I thought. And for him to do that blatantly, it's just like, dang, bro. But I don't want you to lose your job or anything. But I'm just trying to protect mine. I'm content creator. This is what I do. I'm also looking for good content as well. That was great content. It was going to go viral. No doubt about it. It was going to go viral. Within like the first couple hours already, like 300, 500 shares. Quick! I'm telling you, this boy finna go. They said, you better take that down. My coach called me. But I'm like, through all that, doesn't matter. I'm not stressing. I'm not tripping. Doesn't matter. Why would I be? The only people that get frustrated at these type of moments are the people who are not prepared for when life throws craziness at you. I'm always prepared for when life throws craziness at. I believe I got to the point where I could take a lick. You know, you just start Like David Goggins said, you start callousing your mind for when those times come, for when hard times come, when rough times come. To you, they don't really seem like rough times. To the things that you've been through before, you just look at it like, oh, this is just another step. This is just, all right, this too shall pass. You don't look at it the same way other people look at it, because you take the time to actually put yourself through a situation and handle the situations out in front and accept them and be grateful for them. So when things that you think that want to deter you, you're like, this ain't nothing. This ain't that. And that gives people hope and energy. So you have to learn to lean into that more. And that's why I just feel like right now, it just makes the story so much sweeter to know that through all this craziness, look, there's not one doubt in my mind at all. There's not one doubt in my mind. I feel at peace. I feel grateful. I feel ready. I'm just 100% locked in, ready to go. Like this, that mode. Like it's that lock-in mode. Like I'm ready to take some. I'm ready to really go all in, dominate. You know, you just express everything. Just make them pay for the fact that all these other things around me are trying to stop me from getting what I came here to get. And you're in my way. And I feel sorry for you, because right now, there ain't nothing that's going to stop me. Ain't nothing that's going to get in my way. I'm going to make sure that I do everything to win this championship. And I'll make sure that I fight you. Anybody that gets in front of my way, it's going to be hell paid. Almost get close to that game day. As you see, I'm getting excited. I got to say, by the time y'all watch it, it's already passed. So you'll have the result. I'm already telling y'all what's going to happen. Because that's just how strongly I feel. You know, that's how strongly how I feel about it. But going into this new year, I want us to understand, and I want us to change our thoughts. I want to leave on this note, change our thoughts. Because every thought that we have is a seed. And what are the seeds that we're going to plant in 2024? What are the seeds that we will give birth to, that will grow to change our lives? Because the new year is right upon us. And like everybody else say, when the new year comes, man, this year will be fast. Because life happens fast. And the way we change our life is we change our thoughts. And every thought is a seed that can grow into changing us for who we are, for the better or for the worse. Do not let another day, another year go by without really understanding what you are putting your mind on. What are you thinking about? Because your thoughts change who you are. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Will you transform your mind in this new year of 2024? Will you change your thoughts and give birth to the new you? Will you water the seeds of thought that you have in your mind to be all that you desire to be as a basketball player, as a person, to develop yourself into the greatness that you have inside of you? Those thoughts must be nurtured. They must be watered, but it takes real intention and determination and consistency to let those grow. Just because you plant a seed, it doesn't grow on its own. It must be watered, it must be nurtured, it must take the weeds out. That's the doubt. That's the people that's coming, that's the hate, that's the haters, that's all the things around you. Once something starts to grow, it seems like everybody's attracted to the light and they want to suck the light out of it. That's being around the wrong people who don't want to see you grow. That's being around the wrong environment that doesn't help you grow in the areas that which you desire to be as a better person and a better basketball player. It's the doubting thoughts that they have. It's the crab in the bucket mentality that they have. And we must understand that we must water our seed of thought with the good word, with the good energy, with the essence of our soul and really pour in everything that we have to change our lives, to better our game, to better ourselves as people, as players? What are the thoughts that are going to lead you to this change? It's time to be more intentional with our thoughts because they shape and create who we are. And we're not going to let another year pass by without acknowledging our thoughts and being thankful and grateful that we have the opportunity to change them in this very moment. We have a new chance. We made it to the new year, and we have the opportunity to say, hey, this is my year because I've changed my mind for the greater, for the better. And it's the path that I'm willing to take, not just for me, for my family, for myself, for my career, for my destiny, for everything that I am called on this earth to do. It starts with my thinking, and I now put the lock in the pure intention of watering the seeds of growth through my thoughts and actions every day. Listen, man, thank you guys for joining me in this episode, man. Thank you. I feel so rejuvenated. I feel great. I feel ecstatic. I just feel ready. And like I said, the new year is upon us. And I just wish everybody a happy new year. I wish everybody just success, growth, everything. I wish all the hoopers out there that you have, you achieve every goal and every objective that you have, that you take care of your family, that you enjoy your time away, that you break records, get new all-time highs, get the contract that you've been looking for. If you hear this, I pray that you get all the contracts. I hope you get the ratings. I hope you win the championship. Unless you're going against me, it ain't happening. But I hope that you achieve everything and then you start your year off with just the greatness that's inside of you. And it starts with the habits. Because remember, greatness is a habit, not a right. That's all I got for this episode. Happy New Year. God bless. I'm out.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe on our YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and wherever you listen to your podcast. I greatly appreciate it.